All right. Good evening. Welcome again to another episode, The Gentleman and His Lady podcast. I am your distinguished gentleman, the gentleman Warren Allen.
And I am Lady Vaughn.
All right. God bless you, my lady. Yeah, we are waiting. We're waiting. I hope that you all got the message that we were going live tonight from our original page, the gentleman and his lady Facebook page. This is where we are tonight. Uh, and we thank God for you. Thank God for all of you followers. And if you have not, please follow us here because this is where we will be every Monday night unless there is something uh, that changes. And of course, we'll always make that announcement if we cannot come on um, during our regularly scheduled time. We will always inform you of that. Other than that, we'll be right here. Not on my personal page anymore. We'll be right here on this podcast page. So tonight's episode, we just celebrated Mother's Day, and we know Father's Day is fast approaching. And so tonight we wanted to introduce to you, can you still hear your parents' voice? Lot of voices out here, Lady Vaughn.
Right.
Lot of voices and a lot of influences. People can turn it on their phone. They wasn't like that when we were coming up.
Right.
People can get on the computer and everybody got a message. Everybody has a revelation. Everybody has instruction, and not all of it is negative. But the idea of being able to just flip your phone on and get information, man, it's crazy. It is crazy. It is the highway, the internet highway of information, right at the uh, grip of your phone, right there. You can just tap it on all your tablet, or your laptop, or
Right.
your computer, And so you got everybody vying for your ear. Everybody's looking for someone to pour into. So we want to talk about uh, a very important voice, the voice of your parents.
Very important.
It's important. And it is so important until I don't think we really let's just dive in here. I don't think we really pay attention sometimes to words that we use
Hmm.
uh, when you talking about bringing. Now we want to talk about children who were actually birthed with parents because we have to make this disclaimer. There are some children who are in orphans, foster care, uh, group homes who don't have access to their parents.
Right.
So they got mentors and they got instructors, but they don't have mothers and fathers.
The voice.
They don't have the voices that God gave.
Right.
And that's key. God chose your family for you. He chose your parents for you. No matter how you got here. We use the word mistake, but I'm getting away from using that word because sometimes we are in casual conversations and we say things like that because that's kind of how it's been,
Hmm.
throughout life, you know. But I don't care how your mom and daddy met.
That's right.
You are here and you're here for a purpose. And those of you that got access to your parents, whether they married or not, if you got access to them, you need to be hearing their voice. And it's easy to hear a voice when you're little,
That's true. That is so true.
when you're small,
Right.
because there's going to be consequences if you don't hear.
That's right. That's right. So you hear them.
So you hear it and you listening.
Hmm.
You paying attention to what your parents are telling you. You paying attention to what they teaching you. And sometimes the sessions, we talking, but sometimes these sessions are not like teachable, like
Hmm.
classroom type. It's like hands on. Boy, didn't I tell you not to touch that
Right.
stove?
The voice.
It's hot.
Yes.
Hot, mama? Yeah, hot. Hot. And you turn your back,
Gotta touch it.
gotta touch it. Gotta touch it. Why? Because you ain't hearing my voice. I'm telling you that that's hot. Don't touch that.
Right.
So when they don't hear, they have to learn on their own that this is hot.
Right.
And it is, to me, they learn easier when they're small
Right.
because they ain't got to touch it but one time.
That's right.
And you'll never have to tell them that that stove is hot. You just pray that they don't severely burn themselves.
Yeah, they don't try to get around another way to touch that stove. They know that stove is hot. And
Yeah.
they're not gonna touch it.
And it's curiosity because they're curious when they're small. They like sponges when children are small. And so that's why you got to be careful what you say to them. They learn more so of what they see us do than kind of what the instruction that we give a lot of time. But it matters what you say.
Mm-hmm. It does.
It matters what we say. We say things. You sit your stupid self down. You shouldn't say stuff like that.
That's true.
You shouldn't call your child stupid, dumb, crazy. You just like your dumb daddy, dumb mama when you're not together.
Mhm.
Baby mama's drama, daddy
I tell
daddy
you,
drama, because it ain't just baby mamas with drama. There's some of these daddies out here.
if I had known when my kids was growing up to speak the right words in their life
Right.
and not call them stupid, I would speak into their life. I would speak over their lives
Yeah.
instead of speaking down over their life.
Right. Right. Life is about living and learning. But as you were training them, you were training them to the best of your ability.
That's true.
Parenting is not a perfect science. I know that we kind of think that it is, but it's not. Parenting is not a perfect science. Parents sometimes, especially first time parents, we learn it too.
Right.
We learn it. We bringing you into this world, but we are literally learning together how to care for you, and you are depending on us to get you up to adulthood. But it is that guiding voice that helps. Believe it or not, when they in the classroom, when they in the daycare,
Mm-hmm.
they're away from you, but they hear your voice. That's
true.
how powerful
Yeah.
a steady voice is. That's how powerful steady voice is. They ain't even got to be in your presence, but they hear your voice. They about to do something they shouldn't do.
They know.
And they, mama would.
That voice. They hear that voice.
They hear that voice. Don't do that.
Mhm.
Now, you know better. You know better than to do that. They hear it. At least I heard it. And I can't tell you honestly that I obeyed it every time.
That's right.
But I heard it enough to keep me out of major trouble. Because when you're training up children, they right there under your wing. They right there underneath you. They probably eating, if they in the next room, they in the next bedroom. You don't let them go too far away from you. You don't, at least the way I was brought up, and that's key to how we were trained.
That's true.
And the culture we were brought up in. Sometimes we don't consider that as a factor, but we wouldn't allow just to go spend the night with everybody, even family.
No.
We were not allowed to just be all over folks' house and doing things and saying things, and cause mama and them didn't know how they were living.
That's true.
Or they knew how they was living,
and was not gonna let you.
and was not gonna let us be influenced by it, because we had different rules in our house. Our cousins got the chance to do stuff that we were just not allowed to do, and so and we probably would have saw something we weren't ready to see, as a child. Your brain is like a computer hard drive. It remembers almost everything that's poured into it, and stuff come back later. You don't recognize that you are drawing memories and maintaining memories, but it's happening. It's like a sponge. So, when we little, we obey. And, think about when you were small, first grade, second grade, and you had a color assignment. You couldn't wait to get home and show it to your parents or show it
Right.
to your mama, show it to your dad. Mama, look what I did. Dad,
What
look
I
what I did.
did. Look what I did.
And you want their approval.
Right.
You want them to say, baby, you did a good job. Oh, that looks so good.
Yeah.
And it does something special, to you when you get your parents' approval. And no matter, it's like your parents were like heroes to you.
Mm-hmm.
But how is it we get to be adults? Can you hear your parents' voice then? Or does it change? Because you are an adult, but you're an adult, but you're an adult child.
Right.
That's where we are now. That's where the question is posed while we are celebrating mothers and fathers. Mother's Day, Father's Day. It's more than just giving out gifts, but children. When a child acts right, Proverbs says it makes a father glad. When a child acts unseemly, the Bible says he's heavy or she's heavy on the heart of her mother. Why does the
Mm-hmm.
Bible make that distinction? The daddy disappointed, but the mama heart broke.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna too much break daddy's heart. You're gonna disappoint him. But because mama carried you 9 months, got a closeness that daddy could not get and obtain, is different. It's not a respect of person, but it's different when a mother carries that child to full term and then nurtures that child,
Mm-hmm.
especially when they breastfeed. That's
Yes.
another level of developing closeness with your child.
Yeah.
Right? And so you when that child don't act right, it breaks your heart.
Right.
But the daddy be like, you know what? That girl right there, I'm so disappointed in her.
And it's so hard when a mother hear the daddy just,
Yeah.
the daddy, he just don't play.
That
He
is
he holds nothing back. And I'm pretty sure it's been times that after the daddy has spoken and it's hurting the mama heart, I can imagine going into the bedroom. You did not have to say that to her like that.
you could have been a little bit softer.
Yeah, you didn't have to say it like that.
Yeah. Parenting ain't a perfect science. It is not a perfect science. It is a God given, I want to say, creation, but that's why we the Bible clearly says train up a child in the way that they should go.
Mm-hmm.
When they're old, they won't depart. So God can help you train your child.
Yes, He can.
Even folk that don't know Him don't recognize that God is helping them bring them children up. And while they're small, while you got their ear, that's when you need to pour as much right in them as you can. Cause just as sure as I'm a 6'3" black man, they get to about 16, they're gonna start tuning you out.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna listen, but they're not really gonna hear.
Right.
They're gonna start tuning you out because they're gonna start smelling themselves.
Right.
They eyeing 18. They count down the days to when they become 18. They want to hurry up and get to adulthood.
Yes.
But during that time of growth, during that time from elementary, toddler, daycare, elementary, middle school, high school before graduation, those are your years and those are your opportunities to pour into your child.
Mm.
Because, sad to say, when they reach adult, and it's amazing to me, can you still hear their voice? When you don't hear it, that means you don't trust it now. You trusted me to bring you up through all of that rubbish and hell and all those hard places and ups and downs and roller coasters and curves and hills. Lights on, lights off, food here. You might not have had steaks, but you had biscuits and potatoes and you had stuff to make you full. And all of that trouble still got you to adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
You trusted me. Why don't you trust me now? You really need your parents' voice when you become an adult. I know that's kind of an oxymoron because the way we do things, baby doll, we we say, okay, well, you an adult now. Now it's on you. I can't, spank you anymore. But you need to be able to now listen into my counsel, listen to our counsel, listening to the voice. Take heed to the voice of your father and do not turn away from the voice of your mother. Go check Proverbs out. Proverbs got a lot of stuff in there about family. If watch this, if you don't know what parenting is about, as far as what the role of the father, the mother, and the child, go read the book of Proverbs. It's in there. I mean, it's plain. It shows it to you. Now it's going to hit you right in your core. It's going to address you right to where you are. And because that's where God is. God challenges us to the very core of our being to do what's right. And so if you don't know what parenting is about and what it's like, I challenge you. We challenge you. Go read the book of Proverbs. It gives every role. The role of the father, the role of the mother, and the role of the children is right there in black and white. Now, we living in real time. And so the reason this is a good time to talk about this while we celebrating parents is because a lot of adult children start to get in trouble when they tune us out.
Yeah, that's so true.
We're not trying to tell you how to live your life, but we're trying to give you instruction to navigate through it. Maybe you can avoid some trouble if you listen to us. Experience got to teach them, but there's some stuff you ain't got to go through.
Right.
If you just what? Listen.
I guess some feel like they hear you, but they're not listening to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that some, because they have reached that adulthood, you can tell them something. They hear you. But I'm grown, Mama. I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to try it my way. They don't tell you that.
They do what they ask.
Yeah. So I hear you. And then what happens when they don't listen? I should have listened to you, Mama. Things go wrong, Dad. I should have listened to you. So I think that when they get a certain age, that I hear you, but it's not.
It's not registering.
Yeah, it's not soaking in.
Yeah.
So
they have to. Personally, I didn't get to adulthood and get offended when I still depended on my parents. Yeah. Although I was doing adult things, when they addressed certain issues and ways out in this, first of all, I ain't had no nosy parents. My parents respected my boundaries as an adult. I didn't set boundaries to. Now, there's a difference between a barrier and a boundary. Boundaries protect you, keep you from going overboard or stepping out of yourself. And it keeps your character and attitude in check, and it gives people a way of knowing how far that they can go with you. But a barrier keep folk out. You barricade because you don't want nobody bothering you.
Right.
That's not a boundary. That's a barrier. Yeah. And you don't never set barriers against your parents. Now I know there's some bad parents out there. I'm just gonna go on and say it. There are some parents who are doing a very poor job. They're very abusive with their mouth, with their hands. There are some parents who just are just awful. But that's not the majority. But it happens enough, and we'll talk about that on another podcast. About child abuse and the effect that trauma has on you growing up. We'll discuss something like that probably in the future.
Yeah.
But for now, we just want to say, parenting, man. We know there's some parents out there that that don't do what they need to do, but still, God says, honor your father and your mother, for it's right. And He didn't say that they were going to do right. He said to honor them is right. There's a difference.
Right.
So even if they ain't doing right, God said honor your father and your mother so that you can live long on the earth. And fathers, of course, don't provoke your children to wrath. We understand all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But nowhere, as far as the Bible is concerned, nowhere does Scripture give children the freedom to be the one to correct their parents when their parents provoke them to anger.
Mm-hmm.
You still got to be angry and respectful. Angry, upset, and honorable. No, we don't check our parents. We don't put
Right.
them in their place and all of this stuff and raise their voice
As
and
if they somebody on the street.
right, talking to them like they some kid on the street somewhere.
Right.
No, you got to be honorable because God said do it. And everybody don't fear God like they used to. But it's so many natural things that we don't take into play when we become adult.
Mm-hmm.
Well, mama just old school. Well, have you really considered how it was when mama was your age, being brought up in a home? What was her life like? What was your daddy's life like? What were your grandparents who were raising your parents?
I can tell you this right here that I never forget. I used to try to tell I used to tell my kids stuff, right?
Yeah,
And I remember one of my boys, he felt some type of way. I'm trying to tell him the struggles that I had when they were small. He didn't understand the struggles that I had when they were younger.
right.
And to them, it felt like I wasn't doing right by them. Well, he came to adulthood. Now he has the exact same amount of kids that I had. And he apologized to me. He said, Mama,
Wow.
I'm sorry. He said, Man, Mama, I'm so sorry. Now I see what you were talking about. I see how it is now.
Wow.
But this is hard. This is hard. But he's married. I was a single mom.
Even harder.
Yes, it was harder for me. So he couldn't see it then. He was mad at me. The struggles that I was going through didn't look like a struggle to them. It looked like
A normal life. Yeah, this
right.
is how it is.
She just don't want to do it,
Mm-hmm.
So, but now he sees exactly what I'm going through, what I went
What
through.
you went through.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of sacrifice to train, to be a parent, to be a father, to be a mother.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not as fairy tale like we think it is, being a parent, birthing children, and the children are coming into your situation. Whatever your situation is, they are coming right into it.
Mm-hmm.
And they depending on us to bring them out of, and just like you said, they're not aware. They don't even know that it's up. I didn't have enough sense to know that we were lacking.
Right. Right.
I mean, you know what? To me, it was exciting to get pancakes for dinner. I had no idea that that's all we might have
That's all
had.
that was in the cupboard. That was it.
I was just, oh man, we're gonna get some pancakes and some at night. Oh shoot, then we're gonna get some more in the morning. So to me as a child, it was like, man, I was excited. I mean, the pancakes is a treat.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I had no idea that it had got tight and that was a quick meal, and they really just trying to get us full.
Right.
We didn't have to see. And then when you get to be an adult, just like your son did, he
Mm-hmm.
had to have children
Right.
to be able to understand that this is real. That once you start becoming a parent,
Mm-hmm.
your voice carries weight. Your voice carries weight.
Yes, it does.
It means something. Whether they respect it or not, God gave mama and daddy a voice, and it's amazing how that voice just resounds. Resounds. Now, our mom transitioned last year in December,
Mm-hmm.
2025. Gave her celebration of life um, in January, right? So now she's physically not here,
Right.
but I hear her, and I'm grateful for you find those videos, and that was such a blessing. And I thank you for that.
You're
I thank you for that. Because I can always go back and hear her voice.
welcome.
But I hear it anyway.
Right.
I hear it. And sometimes, during these few months, I long to, man, if mama were here, what mama would say this. If mama were here,
Right.
mama would be doing this. And then I have to recognize mama prepared me for this. And so I can't imagine, how you feel, because no parent should have to bury their child.
Right.
It should be the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
But I hear her voice, y'all. I hear her. That's how powerful a parent's voice is. And when you are an adult child, you got options. You can choose not to listen. You can choose to hear, or you can choose to clog up your hearing and not listen.
Right.
And that is the humility aspect of being an adult. Is, like I said, maybe 20 minutes ago, how we trusted our parents' voice coming up.
Right.
What they told us to do, we did.
Yep. Hey, Michael. Thank you for joining us.
What's up, Mike? Please share, man. Share it out for us. It is. We trusted them.
Yeah.
Whatever they put on the table, we ate.
Yep.
We were clothed. May not have name brand, but we were taking care. We trusted the voice.
Right.
How is it when they get us to adulthood, now we question the voice? You still don't know life like you think you know it.
That's right.
Glad you an adult. But now you don't need, I gave you spankings coming up only to show you that there are consequences to bad behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't grow up thinking you can do what you want to do and you ain't going to pay for it. Right? So there are consequences to bad behavior. And after you understand that, when you become an adult, I don't have to. I know I can't because you're an adult, but I shouldn't have to pull your pants down and to call myself trying to grab a belt or a switch or something in my hand to hit you with. Now that you don't got, no, now you don't need the chastising tool. Now you need my voice more than any.
Right.
Any time in your life, now you need the voice of your father and you need the voice of your mother, because you're entering into a world that you don't know enough about. And what we are trying to do is not spoil you. What we are trying to do is to get you around a lot of stuff that now you're gonna have to learn on your own. You're gonna have to make some mistakes so that you can learn life. But what we're trying to do is be a guiding, resounding voice, that there are some things there's some hoops you ain't got to go through.
That's right.
There's some trouble you ain't got to even see if you just what? Listen.
Just listen.
We ain't in your business. We're your voices, and we are your voices over the counselors you will experience, over your girlfriends, over your boyfriend. And when you get married, the Bible says a man should leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife. But we still are a important voice even after you become a husband or a wife. We're not going to get in your business, but we can give counsel. We can give advice.
I think today, I think it's just with the kids of today and growing up, I think it's too many voices in their ear that they're not listening. They forgot about to listen to what the mama said. There's so much influence out there, so many voices, so many things. TV, you were saying,
right,
TV, the radio,
the internet,
everything has a voice,
right?
And they see it. They're not listening to you because guess what? They thirsty to see what this right here. Can I do this right here?
Yeah.
When we already know if you do that,
it's gonna be poison.
Yeah. So we know these things.
That's powerful. That's powerful. The other voices that they got, and they got access to voices we didn't have access to.
Right.
We didn't have internet, man. I mean, there were radios and stuff that we could get into.
We see it. We see it. We see it all the time today when we look at the internet. and I hear you, man, when I be hearing you, and those kids are rebelling against their parents, and they say something smart. Oh my God, you go off, but you be like, boy, I been on. so
Oh
so th-
man.
they are trying things that they see. Let me
Right.
see if this can work on my parents.
Right.
You know.
Right. Right. A lot of bad influence.
Right.
Now there's some good influence, and there's some good voices out there too now, y'all. But we're being truthful that you can have too many voices.
Mm-hmm.
You can have too many people in your ear, and then you ain't gonna know who to follow.
That's right. That's right.
A perfect example of that now is like in church organizations who have the changing of the guard every so many years. You may have a presider who's 4 years leading the organization. Well, then they have a vote at the 4th year. Now you got a new one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have spent 4 years listening to this voice. Now you want me to adjust to another voice for another 4 years, who's going to come with new people, new ideas, new way of doing things. It's highly unlikely that a CEO won't make changes based off of their experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can have literally two. Man, I mean, the first 4 years was good. Now I got to listen to him. He don't wipe the whole slate clean. Now I got to start over from scratch and listen to his voice. It should not be that way, but that's kind of how it is now, baby doll. It's
true.
so, and you have to be able to monitor who you let in your ear. You gotta be careful who you let pour into your ear.
Mm-hmm.
Eyes and ears are gates to the soul. You got to be careful what you set before your eyes, and you got to be careful what you allow to be poured into your ear.
Yeah.
And you got to be careful of who's doing the pouring, who you trusting with information. And it's okay. It's okay if you got an outside voice other than your parents. That's fine. That is okay. Because again, parenting is not a perfect science, and you are going to establish other relationships once you get to adulthood. You're going to create friendships, partners, guys, girls, girlfriends, and players and partners that, hey, me and him been friends since elementary school, and now both of us are adults. We can trust each other. We know each other.
Right.
And so you can build those kind of relationships, but you got to have boundaries even with that. Even with that. But tonight we're talking about parents' voices. Because today, so many out here, they're not listening. They believe when you become an adult, that means you got to stop listening now. I'm grown. That's the first time I've said that tonight. Because I'm trying to get away from saying I hear it too much. I'm trying to use the word adult child.
Right.
Because it gives honor to both. It lets you know that you are indeed an adult, but it lets you also know that you never stop being the child of your parents. You are an adult child, but their voice is going to always be, or should always be, in your life as a guiding.
Always. Never shut them out.
And not just guide, empower you.
Mm-hmm.
Speak strength to you. Everybody else on the outside may cut you down and talk low and say you ain't gonna never be nothing. You shouldn't hear that stuff from you when you come home. Now, just because I chasten you with my voice and I challenge you to do better with my voice, that's not the same as calling you stupid. You'll never be nothing.
Right.
You a dumb dummy, and you just crazy. And I'm so sick and tired of your stupid. And so you have to watch that, because words carry power. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but name will never hurt me. The biggest lying cliche that ever came out of the mouth of a human being. Words, I'd rather you hit me with a stick or a stone. because all it's gonna do is leave a scar. But if your words
Will scar your heart.
for life,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes God to heal your heart. You know, you hit me with that stick, it gonna sting, might break my skin a little bit, but your words penetrate my soul.
Yes.
And I got to walk around with that stuff that you said to me. And now I'm gonna try to shape in my life based off of what I've been hearing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or sometimes it works in the other direction. You said so much bad stuff about me. I'm gonna prove to you that ain't none of that stuff true.
Right.
I'm gonna prove to you that I ain't stupid, that I ain't dumb, and I ain't gonna be like you. You know. And I hate to see that dynamic in the family, but reality is it happens.
Right.
But the key focus for us as we are discussing, Father's Day is coming up. Mother's Day just passed by. Flowers are great. Candy is great. Watches are great. Socks and ties, as much as I don't want no more, it's great.
What?
Don't get me. I don't want no tie. I don't want no socks. Unless they Lakers socks. Lakers or Rams. That's the way to go.
It's gonna be hard for me to buy a tie.
Yeah. It's gonna be hard for you to keep a tie. Yeah, so you stay away from ties. Cause you end up the Indian giver. Give me that tie, then you be asking for it back with that creative mind you got.
Let me put some bling on it.
Yeah. I don't want no bling on my tie. Give me some platinum to put on my wrist. No, I'm just playing. I don't walk around with those. Ain't no way I walk around with a rent payment on my wrist. Or a mortgage payment on my feet. I ain't doing it.
Right.
No. Even if I can afford to, I ain't doing it. So, and don't use my word for law for everybody. I'm frugal, y'all. I'm very frugal. Somebody say he just a fancy word for cheap. Whatever. Whatever. I'm tight, boy. But I'm grateful for my father's voice and my mother's voice, but also my grandparents. My grandparents have been, it's been some years. They have been going on to be with the Lord. But I still hear their voice. The stories that my grandmother would tell me sometimes were over and over again, the same story. And my mother, she took care of my grandmother until my grandmother transitioned. My mother didn't even remarry.
Mm-hmm.
She came from Atlanta, Georgia. Actually sent me here first to live with my biological father. And thank God for him making room for his son. It was no problem for him to do that. Matter of fact, he didn't want me to go back for the summer. He wanted me to stay. And so she came, and after God healed her, because she was paralyzed from waist down from a car accident, told she would never walk again. And God healed my mother. He raised her up from paralyzation. And I'm serious, from waist down. She could not, she was totally broken, bones broken from the top of her knee to the top of her foot, shattered, no bone at all rods and iron, and she couldn't walk at all. And God raised that woman up. So by the time she got back to Jackson, Georgia, which is our hometown, from Atlanta, Georgia, that was like 84, 85, somewhere along in there. She never remarried, and she took care of her mother until her mother passed. But grandmama would call me in there, and she would sit me down, baby. I remember Rem Sappho, and I remember, and she would just tell me the same story. I could tell her what she gonna say next.
Right.
And I sat there and I listened, and my mama would be like, yeah. And mama would be like, Mama, you told him that last week, and I kind of, it's okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't smart mother to my mother, because in my teeth, as much as I struggle with them now, I would have got them knocked out of my mouth had I said something to Brenda Nard. Brenda Nard was a sanctified thug. I tried to warn people. See, my mama was full of the Holy. My mama got filled with the Holy Ghost when I was 13 years old. My mother would step on a step stool and draw her and hit you in your mouth and dare you dare you with her sanctified self? But I would tap her. I wouldn't disrespect her. I would just say, it's okay, Mama.
Yeah.
Because, and I said this to her, I said, Mama, one day I ain't going to have her
Voice.
voice. And I want to be able to say, I ain't got no regrets. I heard everything my grandmother said to me. I wrote it on the tablet of my heart. And I'm grateful for that. Because now that she's physically gone and now my mother is gone too, their voice and I'm paying attention to their voice helps guide me now in my marriage. When I told you the other day, we were talking about, how we met up, and I told her, I said, look, I said, baby doll, my mother was getting on to me, but she hardly said anything. We call her Lady Vaughn, but she was Vaughn when I was coming at her. Yeah, I just nicknamed her baby doll since we've been married for 6
Right.
years.
Hey, Brandavian.
Hey, Brandavian, what's up, man? And so I was talking to her. I was like, my mama got on to me and want to make sure I treat you right. I'm like, doggone, you her mama or my mama? I mean, but that was her. She wanted to make sure all her boys do right, and she had no respect to a person. I guarantee you, my brothers feel the exact same way that I do. We are grateful for the voice that our mother laid down for us. She got us to adulthood. Now, I'm not trying to make this sound preachy. This is reality. I cannot tell you that I followed that voice every time I heard it. Sometimes I had to get in trouble. Because that voice spoke to me at 20 years old and told me to chill out and stay at home for the night. But I had girls on my mind. It was a county fair. I'm like, man, no, I was 19. 19. I was turning 19 in March. And so, that county fair was, man, I'm like, man, them girls, some of them freshmen and sophomores, I'm going to the fair. I got a little money in my pocket. I'm going to win a few bags. I'm going to, spend a little money, get me a little honey, and I'm going to come on back to the crib.
Hey, Miss Josephine, thank you for joining us.
Bless you, Miss Josephine. Please, y'all share, okay? And so, that voice, my mother's voice, stay at home. And God saving her empowered her voice. Now she got heaven backing up her voice. So now I ain't got to tell her my business because Jesus got her all in it.
Yeah.
It's like I couldn't do nothing now, as before she got saved. I was, sneaky a little bit, but man, it's like God just opened that door and let that woman see everything I was doing. She said, I got a feeling. I was like, man, I'm so, to myself now. I didn't say that to her. To myself, saying, man, this woman always got some kind of feeling or she's seeing something. I'm like, oh, go on. I just want to go to the fair. Watch this. I'm 18. I'm gonna be 19, and she's still acting like, got the clamps on me.
Yeah.
I really ain't got the axe to go. I'm graduating high school now. I got a job. I'm helping pay bills.
Yes.
You gonna tell me to stay at home? And now that's what I'm processing in my mind, y'all.
Right.
I ain't saying that to some of y'all crazy. See, I knew my mama was crazy. No. You ain't saying that to my mama because I want to live to see 19. March the 1st would have been a funeral if I would have said that stuff out loud. But God was telling her to tell me to chill out or to chillax and not go. I went anyway. Do you not know I am 55 years old? I was 18 then. I got in trouble. Got in the car with some people I knew that were up to no good. I wasn't in on the plan. I thought we were going to cut some corners and come on to the house. They had other things in mind. Long story short, I was facing 5 to 10 years in prison. I ended up with 5 years probation because it was the first time offender.
Mm-hmm.
I have just what? It's 2026.
2 years.
2 years ago, I was able to get a pardon
Mm-hmm.
from the Georgia Board of Pardons. This happened at 18.
And that's how your mother's voice, your parents' voice is so important.
Say it. Say it.
It's so important that you hear the voices of your parents. I don't care how old you get, if your mother or your father is speaking to you, then listen to what they got to say, because at the same time when you said that, when your mother told you not to leave the house, I remember a time that me and my two sisters with two of our friends, we was just gonna go around the corner of the house, behind around the corner from the house, this little club. So we was gonna go there. I'm grown, everybody grown, and we did a before and after video for how we was looking laying around the house. Then we changed it. Yeah, of course, it was my idea, and we changed into our outfits. And when I changed into my outfit, when we was ready to go out the door, my mama said, "Vaughn, something telling me not to tell you to go nowhere, but something gonna happen to you if you go."
Wow.
And I said, I got mad at my mama, you know. I said, "Mama, what are you talking about?" I said, "We fixing to go. I'm already." She said, "Something gonna happen to you if you go."
Listen, y'all.
And I said, "Mama, I'm with my sisters. Ain't nothing going to happen to me." I went. We went. Guess what? I made it home. I made sure that I told my mama nothing happened to me. But two girls that we were with, that was with us, um, they was catching a ride with I I had an enemy, and I didn't know that this girl really was an enemy of mine. She was at the place too, right? And she followed us home. One of them told her to come to the house and pick me up, knowing that this girl didn't like
Don't
me.
like you.
And sure enough, my mama said something was going to happen to me that night. Don't leave the house. I'm scared something's going to happen. And I called myself going to prove my mama wrong. Mama made it home and then nothing happened to me. But I went back out that door again. You know, I went out that door. I actually went out the door to ask the girl, why don't you like me? What have I done to you? Y'all, I carry a scar. Y'all see that? I carry a long scar on my arm to this day because I didn't listen to mama. But if I had to listen to her,
She cut you.
yeah, she cut me. If I had to listen to her and not go, then they wouldn't have followed me back to the house,
Right.
and I wouldn't have had to go out that door. But the Lord, and I know something was telling mama, the Lord was
God was
telling
telling you.
mama to tell me not to go. And guess what? The scar actually was supposed to be exactly from here all the way down, because she was trying to cut me from my neck down, and it hit my side too. So she was trying to kill
She was
me
trying to
that
kill you.
night. Yes.
She was trying to
But
kill you.
see, because I didn't listen, I got the scar on me. But I thank God I got my life, you know.
Right.
But the voices, I don't care how grown you get, when your parents try to tell you something, listen
Right.
to what they're saying. Take heed into what they're saying. So it's important. The voices of your parents, it's important. I don't care how old you get.
It'll
Listen to
save your
them.
life.
That's right.
It'll literally save your life.
Yeah.
It ain't about, uh, being in your business, because we think parents are in our business and being nosy and not wanting us to quote unquote live our own life. You live your life, let me live mine. Well, a parent's voice is not there to stop you from living. A parent's voice is there to keep you living,
Mhm.
to keep you alive. We have been your age already. You in your 30s, you in your 40s. Well, we've already been down
And
that
we
road.
know what the outcome is gonna be. The road that you are traveling,
The
we
mistakes you
already know.
making, we've
Yes,
been
we
down it.
know. We did it.
We've been down it. Parents' voice is a detour. Y'all need to write
That's what
that
it
down.
is. That's what it is. It's a detour.
A parent's voice is a detour. It'll get you around trouble. It'll send you in another direction so you won't have no wreck. Your life will not end up in a wreck.
Yeah.
You're going to make errors, and today there's this of course this thing that now is, people want to talk to their ancestors.
Oh, yes.
It's okay to hear your ancestors' voice that they spoke to you before they left.
That's right. Before they left.
We don't pray to our ancestors.
No, I can remember what they said to me, so I'm hearing what they said, their voice.
Right.
But I'm not hearing their voice while they are in the grave.
No, because the dead know nothing.
The dead knows nothing.
And that's the Bible. The dead don't know nothing that's going on here. You can have memorial services and memorialize and bless the memory of your ancestors and bless the memory of your parents. But, watching over you and turning into an angel, they didn't come here no angel. Why they going to be turned into one?
Right. Right.
The Bible says they sleep. If they're righteous, they sleeping. If they ain't righteous, baby, they not sleep. God, you know. Why I say I wasn't trying to be preaching. But the voice of the parent is that important. It's that valuable. And some people, some children who are adults don't value. They don't honor enough.
And the Bible don't tell you to obey your parents until you get 18.
Oh, listen.
It says honor, right?
Honor your father and your mother. Because it's right.
Right. There's
No age limit.
No age limit. No age limit.
No cutting off. And is what you value.
I could never do that. I could never. And I thank God for the relationship that I have with my mother, and because I love my mama. I see kids today. Oh, I don't talk to my mom. Folks, people today, I don't talk to my mom because she's so and so and so and so and so and so.
I ain't talked to my mom in months.
I can't do that.
I don't speak to my dad.
I can't. And them be the main ones falling over the grave, trying to reach down and snatch them back out and hollering.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that. Mama, I know you're listening. I love you.
Right.
I love my mama, and I ain't ashamed to say it. I don't get too grown not to hear her.
A parent's voice is a detour. Listening to you, a parent's voice is prophetic. A parent's voice prophesies without being a prophet or a preacher, but because of how they were brought up and what they experience in life. And life gets faster every generation. Right now, you got a generation that's facing AI,
Right.
robots, which is going to take a lot of jobs away. You got a lot of folk who lazy and don't want to work or go to work. Okay. A robot ain't going to need no PTO. A robot ain't going to need no vacation, no sick days.
It's going to work.
A robot ain't going to fall down and need workman's comp. A robot just need reprogramming. If a glitch hit the system, they got programmers for that. Hello, y'all. Y'all YNs, you better become computer programmers and computer technicians because the demand is going to be high for you.
Yeah.
Because they're going to still need a human being to program artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence gets smarter by the day. But that's the time that they're facing now. Everything is super fast. Flying cars are already in existence. We just don't have access to them.
Yes.
But they are, models have already been created and being tested.
Right. You can buy them now. I saw that.
You can buy one now?
You can buy one
Well, I
now.
know you can buy a robot now.
Yeah. Oh no, I saw it on a.
They cost about, to lease a robot, it's probably like $35,000.
I saw some ad or something.
What they testing? You can buy a car that
It was on a
flies.
showroom. You know,
Oh,
the car
okay, okay.
that flies.
Because they got to have air laws and all this,
Yes, yes. All that gotta come in
airspace
place.
laws and
Yes.
all licensing and
Right.
all of that got to change over as far as, driving. And then, you're on the highway and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
traffic
So
jam.
they are advertising that. They
Wow.
are starting to advertise that. I saw that.
So this is a different generation, which means it's gonna have more troubles and more things. This generation of YNs and millennials, you need the voice of your father and mother, because there's stuff that's coming up on this earth that's good, and there's stuff that's coming up on this earth that's horrible. And this is gonna be the third thing that a parent's voice is. The first thing I think came to my mind was a parent's voice is a detour, keep you from wrecking your life.
Mm-hmm.
A parent's voice is prophetic,
Mm-hmm.
can see the future. And a parent's voice is a guide. It can guide you through the wilderness. It can help you navigate through life. You need can you hear your parent's voice after you become an adult? Now can you hear me? You heard me when you were small, but can you hear me now? Is it a problem for you when we speak to you? Are you listening to us when we are not getting on to you in trouble, but are you listening to us when you talk to, are you paying? These two words is a mantra, or one of many that my ministry father applies to himself, right? And he admonishes those of us who are given to him. He says two words: pay attention. Watch me. Pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
In order to pay attention, you got to hear the voice. All right, y'all. We are 1 minute past our time. We thank y'all for coming on. Again, this is where we will be from now on, unless an emergency or something happens, and we may have to change the time or something like that. We'll always let you know. Officially tonight, the Gentleman and His Lady podcast live from the actual page. And so get the word out. We thank y'all for supporting us. Thank you for listening to us. And we, as always, hope and pray that you were better leaving off than you were coming on.
Yeah.
Until next Monday night. Peace. One love.